Stop the presses. Welcome to Kind of Funny Games Daily for Wednesday, October 3rd, 2018. I'm one of your hosts, Jared Petty, alongside the Rogue One, Mr. Gary Whitta.
Is that your new opening, Stop the Presses?
No, well, it could be, somebody alert the Pope. Could be that. Could be wake up the president.
I don't know if you were trying out a new catchphrase or something.
No, I don't know. I just threw it out there. Just popped out.
I liked it. Do you think people, the people these days even know what Stop the Presses means?
I don't know.
Because I made a reference earlier to taking the phone off the hook.
Yeah.
And then it occurred to me that people, that millennials and young folk these days probably don't even know what that means.
Well, I mean, perhaps they've studied history. They could be aware of it. They might have looked back. I mean, I still wonder when phrases like getting voted off the island like 300 years from now will still be part of the parlance of our language and nobody will know why.
Right.
So off the hook, I wonder if that one will be around for a bit.
I do like Stop the Presses.
Stop the Presses.
I never, in years of print journalism, I never once, unfortunately, had the opportunity to say it, which is sad, really.
I'm really sad about that because you were important enough that you could have shouted, "Stop the presses."
Well, on a monthly magazine, it's less. On a daily newspaper, I can understand it. If a story comes in, for anyone who is young enough to not know what it means, if a story on a newspaper breaks so late that it's got to go in tomorrow morning's paper, but the printing presses are already running,
yeah,
you would stop the presses so that you could change the front page and get the new story in there.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Kind of Funny Geriatric Cast. I'm your host, Jared Petty, alongside Gary Whitta. We're here to talk about anthropology, archaeology, and all things anachronistic. Or perhaps we could talk about the video game news that you want to know. You can watch live at twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. You can watch on YouTube, video on demand at youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. As we're speaking right now, if you're watching live, go to youtube.com/you're wrong and tell us what we got wrong. We appreciate you being here. Now it's time for Housekeeping Extra Life 2018. November 3rd, we'll be streaming games and shenanigans for 24 hours as we raise money for Children's Miracle Network hospitals.
It's charity season, isn't it?
It is that season. Are you going to be there? You going to be there?
I'd like to be.
I'm going to be there. I'm excited about it. You can join or donate now at kindoffunny.com/extra-life, and I hope that you will. Also, this week, just a selfish Jared plug here, but hey, Red Dead Radio, new episode breaking down the new trailer. Go find that right now at reddeadradio.com, which is my Patreon, and there's a link to it there, or youtube.com/hop-blip-and-a-jump. It's exciting. All kinds of good stuff going on there. And hey, Game Scoop. You've heard of that Game Scoop, Gary Whitta? The IGN Game Scoop. That there is a podcast that has been around for 500 episodes.
Oh, wow. That's a long time.
This Friday, their 500th episode of Game Scoop will be recorded live at IGN. It's every now and then they take a break, but they've been around
Sounds
for
like 10 years, basically.
10 years, yeah.
Wow.
They've been around forever. So anyway, I'm going to be on that along with Damon Hatfield, Sam Claiborne, Justin Davis, the Omega Cops, all the regular special guests, etc. That'll be this Friday at IGN. If you're going to be there, I'll say hi to you there. But check that out when it goes live as well. And today's episode of Kind of Funny Games Daily brought to you by Third Love and Loot Crate. But we'll get to that in a moment. But first,
bloody hell,
a special segment.
A special segment?
That's right.
What can this mean?
I know. What could it mean indeed? What is this large box?
I've been wondering about this white mystery box that we have on the table here.
Gary Whitta, Greg Miller wanted to save this for you because
I'm touched.
You, sir, are British.
I am.
And therefore,
what gave it away?
Therefore, the most qualified person among us to open this box. Now, what's contained within has a special place in my heart, but
mine too.
Nothing compared to the special place in your heart.
It's a very special place. So this is something that was announced some time ago, and I've been keeping an eye on and was very excited about, and now it's here. It is the C64 Mini, or I guess the Commodore 64. That's the Commodore 64 Mini. When I was a kid, at the same time in the kind of the early to mid 80s that everyone here in the United States was playing either the Sega Master System or more likely the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Yeah.
I was playing, and all my British cohorts in the UK were playing the Commodore 64. That was the gaming system to have.
Okay, so even though it was a home computer,
yes,
it was oriented toward playing video games.
I don't know if it was one of those things that, much like its rival system, the Sinclair ZX Spectrum, it was never necessarily intended to be a games machine, but that's what the market turned it into. It just became the games system.
There's a lot of fascinating history behind the C64. The thing was slapped together over the course of a very short period of time by some very intelligent and hardworking Commodore engineers, because the owner of Commodore is like, make me a computer and make it quick. And a lot of its game playing ability comes from them just using parts that were laying around that happened to be games or arcade hardware oriented.
Right.
And so they created semi-accidentally this awesome game machine.
Yeah, and also particularly well known for having probably the best sound chip ever put in an 8-bit system. The SID SID chip created chip tunes, the like of which have never been rivaled. If the only chip tune music you've ever heard is from the NES, go listen to some Commodore 64 music, because it just has this throaty kind of bass quality to it, just a kind of feel to it that the NES never quite. The NES sound chip sounds very flimsy compared to what the C64
It's a
put
very
out.
different kind of sound. The NES sound chip actually has more channels than the SID, but the SID has this just bizarre, wonderful quality.
Yeah, and composers like Rob Hubbard and Martin Galway were able to just do magic tricks with it and able to kind of make it sound like it had more channels than it really did.
So we've introduced the sucker. I think it's time, Gary, for you to open it up.
So I'm glad this thing exists. You know, we've obviously been through this. We're going through this retro period right now where all the boxes from days of yore, like the NES and the Super NES, are being shrunk down, and obviously the PlayStation Classic is coming, shrunk down and relaunched.
Yeah.
And I've been excited about the NES and the PlayStation Classic and the Super NES Classic and all of those systems, but they don't have a true nostalgic feeling for me because I didn't really grow up with them. I grew up with this.
Yeah.
So to have this now reinvigorated and shrunk down and made real again, I'm very excited, and I'm very, very grateful to Greg and to you to make it to making this available here for us to unbox, and I get to do it. How do we even?
I think it folds from the front. Folds from the front.
Okay, so we should point out that this is not the retail box.
I think this is press box right here.
This is a special press box. Did the sound pick that up?
Yeah.
Kevin?
Yeah.
We got that?
Yeah, we knew
That's
that was
amazing.
coming. We didn't tell you, but we knew that was going to happen.
That is magical. Oh my goodness. And you get 3 bags of Pop Rocks
Apparently so.
inside of here.
Very important there, but yes, it does in fact play a jaunty tune. Did you recognize that tune? It was jaunty.
What
very,
was
very.
it?
It was spectacular. That's what it was. And then inside.
Well, so let's just get
right.
before we even get to the box here. Available October 9th, according to this. 64 games, very appropriately.
Yep.
And some Pop Rocks, which, maybe we'll enjoy those on the show.
Oh, that sounds good. Well, I can't have them, but you can.
Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Is that a dietary restriction that you have?
Yes.
Or something?
Oh, wait, I believe we have a scroll.
Hey, just a heads up. I have put a window of the Sky Cam underneath you guys. You can see on the confidence monitor.
Oh, excellent. So we don't have to fold it up.
So this is the top down.
Excellent.
Okay.
Thanks, Kevin.
So let's unsheath this scroll here and see what lies within.
All right.
Let's get this.
Pretty excited. Let's see what you have here. What's within the scroll?
Welcome to 1982. You're about to get your hands on the best-selling personal computer of all time.
That's true.
There's a boast.
Something around between 18 and 30 million sold are the numbers I hear.
Packed in, you will find 64 of the most gnarly games you have ever seen. So you're saying, sure, that's rad, but what does it include and when can the public get it? Well, here's the info, you hoser. I'm not quite sure why they went with hoser.
I don't know either. I don't know.
The C64. Well, this is just basically telling us what's in the box.
Yeah, let's
should we open up the box?
I think we should open up the box.
Okay.
All right. So
here's the actual retail box.
Yeah.
Which I'm very excited about. Now let's take this larger box and set that aside.
All right. We'll put
Thank
this
you
down
very
here.
much. Okay. So here's the actual, shall I put it that way so you can see it? Here's the actual C64 Mini.
Okay.
An $80 retail price according to this. Brought to us by Retro Games Limited. The world's best-selling home computer, reborn. 64 games included, plugs into your TV, includes an HDMI cable, AC adapter not included. So how do we plug it in?
My suspicion is that it's probably going to be USB powered, but we'll see.
Oh, you think so? Or should we open it up and find out?
I think we should open up and find out.
I'm going to need something sharp.
Oh, something sharp, you say?
Do we have a knife?
Kevin is running for something sharp. We did not anticipate
this.
Let's
preview some of the contents here. 64 classic
games.
retro games included.
I have a complete list right here.
Remember what was the first thing I asked you about? I said what.
The first thing
I asked you was, does this system have Paradroid?
And you said yes.
It does.
Okay, why is Paradroid important?
It's one of the greatest Commodore 64 games of all time, one of the greatest games of all time, only ever made for the Commodore 64. No, there was never a Spectrum version.
Okay.
There was a Spectrum kind of a knockoff version, but it was never as good. So let's have a look at some of the games included. Boulder Dash, of course, a classic.
Uh-huh.
California, and a lot of Epic's titles.
Right.
California games, Impossible Mission 2. Please tell me Impossible Mission 1 is in there, because that was actually the better version.
It is.
Jumpman.
Impossible Mission is also in
Okay,
there. I have
good.
the computer list there.
Paradroid, Pit Stop 2, a classic. Speedball 2, my goodness, on the Commodore 64. Street Sports Baseball, Summer Games 2, Temple of Asphalt, Apsai, his trilogy, Winter Games, another favorite, Uridium, which was the sequel to Paradroid, and you gotta love this, the Basic.
Yep, C64 Basic.
You get
That's
C64
right.
Basic,
which
and
was
then-
a big deal when it came out. It's a very powerful Basic for a computer of this caliber. So you could sit there and I've heard, Gary,
Yes.
there are a lot of games. As for example, I'm disappointed not to see Realm of Impossibility. I'm disappointed not to see Movie Monsters. I'm disappointed not to see Mail Order Monster.
Everyone's
I'm
going to have their
disappointed
own
not to
personal
see
favorites that they're not
Master of the
thrilled about
Lamps.
seeing.
But I have heard, I couldn't confirm this, that the C64 Mini is extremely easy to mod if you were to happen to be able to acquire copies of these games. Now, I don't know how
so
you
much
do
like
that.
people modded the NES or the Super NES, you
Yes.
could possibly also
I've heard
do
that
that with
there's
this.
actually a USB interface that makes it extremely easy, and a support base of people out there who are producing easily accessible versions of these. But I
see better
couldn't be
without my
quoted on
glasses
that.
in.
That's just something I might have heard.
So the full list, I'm not going to do the full list, but
right.
there are 64 games on
A
here.
lot of
and
good
I'm-
games on here.
And I'm seeing everyone's a Wally. Oh my goodness. The original Speedball, School Days, which was a classic, Monty on the Run, a classic, Nodes of Yesod, Robin of the Wood, Silicon Warrior,
This is the-
Cybernoid.
Oh
my god.
I love Cybernoid. This
Who
is
Dares
the
Wins 2,
most,
which is one of my favorites.
most UK list of video games I've ever seen in
This
one
is
place.
the most British thing
Yeah.
we've seen on Kind of Funny since I used to bring in British snacks.
Yeah.
Should we open
Oh,
the whole thing up?
I think so.
Do we
Yeah.
have time to do this?
I-
We haven't even
well-
started with the news yet.
You know what? Open it up. Greg wanted you to be here to do this. We are following the wishes of Greg Miller. These are his instructions.
Wait, quick
Who are
side
we?
note.
Who are we to fly in the face
Of Greg,
Miller's wishes?
Kevin's raising his hand.
I was just gonna say, Gary, it'd be really cool if you brought snacks again. If we did another one.
You want me to do that again?
I loved it.
I'll do it.
It was one of my favorite things.
I'll do it.
I couldn't remember why I liked you so much, and right now, light bulb back
Just so
on.
long as you like, you don't need to remember the reason. Just so long as you like me.
My favorite part about this whole thing is looking is that it's not really a C64 unless you also have a crappy joystick, and that seems to be what we see on the front. So
I'm just going to read some of the features here. High definition output at 720p, which is impressive because, you know, none of these games are even close to 720p via HDMI. Pixel perfect display with US Europe display modes and CRT filter options.
There you
so
go.
if you want to pretend like it's playing on an old TV, you have that option.
get that 40-column C64 display looking nice and fuzzy like it's supposed to.
Save game function, 2 USB ports, plug in a USB. So one of the things that should be mentioned about this is not actually a functional keyboard.
Okay.
This is just a mock-up box.
So I'm not gonna be able to sit there and use my copy of the Bank Street Writer in the print shop on
So
this.
I thought this, I mean, to keep the price down, I understand why they need to do it this way, but this is not a functional keyboard. If you actually wanted to use C64 Basic, you would plug in a USB keyboard and you would have access to it.
which would
Or add
be
a second
fine.
joystick for 2-player games and support software updates via USB flash drive.
I am so tempted
So it's
to try to
future-proofed.
connect this thing with Print Shop to an Okidata printer and see if I can make new banners. That sounds amazing.
Oh my God, this is a very special moment for me, Jared.
There you go.
I wish I could communicate to you how I'm feeling right now.
Well, try.
But it's-
I mean, articulate it. You're a writer.
Oh, look, it's so cute. Are we seeing this on the top camera?
Yeah, 100%.
It's teeny tiny in real life. Look how small this thing is.
Yes, indeed.
Look at this little baby. Oh, look at it. Hold on. Look at this little cute. Well, of course, the reality is, how could that possibly be a functional keyboard at that size?
Yeah, that size would be.
Yeah, I'll
very
let you
difficult.
hold on to that
Oh,
for a
it's fun.
second.
Oh, that's very cute. Yeah,
We've got our
HDMI. Yeah, the
cables.
power's USB. Power's
For all
USB,
the
just
for
like
all
we
the
talked
years
about.
that I've bemoaned unboxing
hold on to your
videos, I
face.
can't believe I'm actually participating in one.
Oh, it's adorable.
It is. It's so cute. Here we have the USB ports on the side, and on the back HDMI, and then the USB in. Right
This, I can tell you right now, feels pretty good. This is modeled after. This used to be called the Competition Pro.
there. Yeah.
It was made by a company called Kempston.
Yep.
There was also a company called Euromax that made their
Right.
own version. There were various different versions of this.
Got to have that Kempston adapter.
The Kempston, yeah. So this now typically this would look like the old. The plug was the same plug as
The 9-pin, the Atari
the
plug.
old Atari 2600 and Sega Mega Drive.
Because that's one of the
plug.
few weaknesses of the C64 is it only accepted one button input. I mean,
Yes.
there's 2 buttons on this, but
Yes,
the
both of
C64 only
these both of these
understands one
buttons did the
button.
same thing.
Yeah, and that made games like Castlevania or Contra real pains to play on.
The reason why it was that it's basically just ambidextrous. I played like this.
Yeah.
Most people are playing like this.
Yeah.
Or like this.
Right. Does it
Yeah,
feel
either
appropriately
way.
crappy like a real Kempston?
You tell me. It doesn't feel. It doesn't have the micro switches.
Okay. Yeah,
It doesn't have those clicky micro switches.
Might have to replace
But
that.
still, what do you want for $80?
Oh, I'm excited. I think this is going to be a fun little
I think
thing.
it's cheap.
Can I have the main?
Of course, you can have whatever you want. Your thing here.
So let's look at what we got here. So yep. Now, accurately, this is where the controller ports were on the original Commodore 64.
Okay.
The 9-pin ports. We have the HDMI out, and the power in, as you predicted,
USB
is USB. So just basically plug this into any USB power source, and you should be good to rock and roll. Jared, I am so excited to go home and play every one of the 64 games on this box.
Gary, I'm glad you're excited. I'm glad you're going to enjoy yourself. It makes me feel really good to see you grinning from ear to ear.
I know. And
There's a lot of good games on this thing.
I honestly, I'm so thrilled to have this. Greg, when Greg is here, I'm going to give him a big hug and a smooch because I'm very excited about this, and it's certainly something I would have bought for myself when it comes out next week. But for right now, I have it already, so I couldn't be more thrilled. I'm going to play every one of the motherfucking games on this thing,
Rad.
all 64.
Even them Temple of Vespa?
I'm playing the trilogy.
Oh.
So technically, 66 games.
Yeah. No, I imagine that they're all
you gonna
divided up
stream
in
this?
different ones. You could.
I might.
You could stream that.
I
You got
could.
Elgato. You could stream that. Absolutely.
Yeah, I need a capture card or something, but I'll
I
find a
have
way to.
one.
I'll find a way to
You
do
can do it
it.
at my place. Come over.
Okay.
We'll do it together.
All right, we'll do a C64 retro stream.
Play some international karate against each other.
Oh wait, is international karate on here?
I don't know actually.
Well, what you don't want international karate. Well, you do, but what you really want is IK Plus.
Okay.
Or you want Way of the Exploding Fist. Let's see if it's on here.
Way of the Exploding Fist?
Way of the Exploding Fist is not on here.
Might be able to find it somewhere. Not that I know. But
And there's
we
no
should,
international karate or
we should
IK Plus
probably,
either.
being 16 minutes into the show, probably move on. Kevin, I'd like to ask a favor. I think that we should probably mark a time code for the good people that want to just hop ahead to the Roper Report
Those are not good people.
and note that for them here at about this point. That's
Those would not be good
yeah,
people.
we always have a time code for the first.
Right, we want to do this as a reader service for them. Just making sure.
Let's get
just
some of this
checking
off
in.
the-
You're on
some of
top
this-
of it, Kevin. I should have known.
Toss some of this off the desk.
Let's toss
here.
off and over.
We'll
But
toss
now,
off.
ladies and gentlemen, after taking that special look at the C64 Mini, brought to you by C64 Mini, brought to you by Mr. Greg Miller, brought to you by Gary Whitta, it's time for what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news. 6 items on the Roper Report today.
A baker's dozen.
First off, I'm so glad you're here all the time, Gary, but I'm especially glad you're here for this story.
Why is
Leading
that?
off
Okay.
from Variety's Dave McNair, Dance Dance Revolution movie in the works. Greg's-
Seriously, that's what we'll leave. That I'm going to go ahead and guess right now. Today's a slow news day.
You know what?
If this is the lead-off story, if this is the headline, I'm guessing that the stories number 2, 3, and 4 are not going to be page turners. But let's see. I don't
find
want
out.
to prejudge it. You may have curated it in an interesting way.
I think we launched with the C64, honestly. But that's
now you're
really,
talking.
Everything
that really
else
was
is
the
just
top
kind of
story.
downhill
Yeah,
from there.
I hear you.
Dance Dance Revolution movie in the works. Greg Silverman's recently launched Stampede is developing a movie version of the video game Dance Dance Revolution. The project will explore a world on the brink of destruction where the only hope is to unite through the universal language of dance. Stampede will partner on the movie with producers J. Todd Harris and Mark Markham of Branded Entertainment and the intellectual property owner Konami, who first introduced Dance Dance Revolution to Japan in 1998. The video game, which has released several editions over the past 20 years, utilizes a dance platform or mat so players can use their feet to hit colored arrow notes as instructed on screen. Gary Whitta, you are a professional screenwriter, writer of such hits as Footloose and The Maltese Falcon. I believe you composed both of those, correct?
Yes, and many more.
And many more.
Yeah.
Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, we're gone. No, not the original. Gone with the Wind 2. The Wind is gonening.
The Wind is Gonening. That was you. All right. But you write movies for a living.
Great ones.
What do you think of this?
Oh, you know what? It should have been The Wind Returns.
The Wind Returns.
Gone with the Wind
Gonening.
2. The Wind Returns would be good.
There's 3, The Gonening.
Yes.
Okay, 3 is The Gonening. It's set
Gone
on
with the Wind
Halloween.
3. The gonening.
Okay.
Now you're talking.
And that's set on Halloween. Red
Yes.
Butler with a knife chasing Scarlet.
I like
through the mansion.
because three movies into the franchise, you got to change it up a
Gotta
little.
change it up a little.
Keep things fresh.
Gary, what's your pitch for the Dance Dance Revolution movie?
Well-
If you're writing the screenplay for this, what's it look like?
I told you before the show that I thought I knew what this was going to be. It seemed like I think this was going to be like a fairly obvious kind of step up kind of deal where a young dance prodigy advances to the top of the dance world with lots of kind of dancing along the way. The only twist being that he gets discovered because he's good at Dance Revolution.
Okay.
Right? Or that's kind of how he discovers he's good at dance.
Going the way of the lambada, perhaps.
Yeah,
right.
kind of. But it sounds like they're going with a slightly more ambitious... Let me just read this again. The project will explore a world on the brink of destruction where the only hope is to unite through the universal language of dance.
Yes.
I mean, what more is there to say?
Is that what you
I'm
would
not quite sure how to respond to this story.
Okay, well, you and I both know that these movies are, unlike video games, where video games are announced after they're largely finished.
Yeah.
Movies are announced before they're even begun. And the number of video games announced that never, ever, ever actually reached production is staggering. Actually, I wrote an article a couple of months ago on IGN about this, where we listed every announced video game movie over the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And how very, very few of them are ever going to happen.
That's the thing. I don't know why they even bother announcing this. It's because the reality is this movie probably will not get made. And that's not a knock on this movie in particular. It's just an observation on the fact that, what the hell is going on behind me?
Focus.
This is that's the second show in a row that he's dropped the ball like that on the back screen. Last week I was here, the whole stream shit the bed, and now this. Kevin is slipping.
On the other hand, he did have that camera ready with the top down for us.
To be fair, that was good. That was good as well.
I think honestly,
and he always laughs at my jokes, so I should really cut him more slack.
Yeah, actually, Kevin, kind of the unsung hero. The glue that holds this place together.
I saw, you know what, one of the things that I'm not sure if Kevin's aware of, I imagine he is because he's monitoring the chat, but he does get a lot of love in the Twitch chat.
Oh yeah, he should.
Good kids out there.
Kevin's good people.
People say they always enjoy his off-camera comments and laughter and stuff like that.
His zany antics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what keeps the show zany. You're right.
So do you think this movie's ever going to happen?
No, and again, that's not a knock on this movie. It's just an observation on the fact that most movies don't happen.
If this movie does happen, will you go see it?
I'll see a trailer and then I'll make my decision.
Are you in any way more intrigued by the fact that instead of it being a standard rise through the ranks dance movie of discovery, that it's about saving the world through the universal language of dance?
Well, here's the thing. One of the things that I've learned is not to prejudge things too early, because I remember when they announced the Facebook movie and people went, really, a movie about Facebook? What the fuck? Mm-hmm. Turned out it was actually really good.
Yeah.
When they announced the Lego movie, people said, oh, another just cheap merchandising cash in. The Lego movie's fucking great.
Yeah.
What?
No, I'm sorry.
I just said a bunch of nice things about you.
Lego Batman, I did not enjoy.
We're talking about the Lego movie.
The Lego movie I did enjoy.
Did you like the Lego Ninjago movie?
I did not watch it.
Okay, that was actually
Lego
pretty
Batman.
good.
I like Lego Batman a lot.
Yeah.
I fell asleep through Lego Batman.
The original one's still the best.
Oh yeah, the original Lego movie.
I'm excited about Lego Movie 2 as well.
When it just decides to drop the father-son bomb on you, you're like, oh, well, this is unexpected.
It's a movie about family, man.
Moving on.
It's good. So yeah, well, let's.
Hold on.
No, I was just gonna say we'll reserve judgment.
Okay.
On this one, I'm not going to be one of the hot take brigade going, oh, Hollywood, terrible ideas again, because you just never know. The Hollywood can and has made amazing movies out of very unlikely subjects in the past. I am open-minded on this. Let's wait and see.
Stay tuned for Ubisoft's announcements of Just Dance 2021 for the Wii, the motion picture.
Well, you know that if this movie comes out and is a hit, you're going to see exactly that.
That's what I'm hoping for. What I'm really hoping for is a deep impact Armageddon situation, where even if this doesn't go, they're both being made at once.
Like a Dante's Peak volcano face-off. Yeah.
Oh, man. Dante's Peak. There's a piece of theatrical
By the way, I
crap.
wasn't suggesting that Dante's Peak, Volcano, and Face-Off were three movies of a type. I was just saying that Dante's Peak.
That would be amazing if they were. Are you kidding? You put a volcano?
It's a movie about two volcanoes that switch faces.
No, the only thing that could make Face Off more batshit insane than it already is
That's a
the
batshit insane
addition
movie.
of a volcano.
I wonder if that movie still holds up. I remember seeing it in the theaters and going, this is one of the crazy ass movies I've ever seen.
I watched it last year and it is beyond insane. That is truly a crazy movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should watch it again.
Okay, I'll check it out.
It's entertaining. I can't say it's good. FORTNITE Halloween skins bring bling and gliders leaked by Nick Santangelo at IGN. And a series of early morning tweets established FORTNITE leakers 2 epic bundles and FNBR
Two epic buddies.
leaks. Oh, buddies? 2 epic buddies, not 2 epic bundles. Thank you. And FNBR leaks revealed FORTNITE's upcoming Halloween-themed skins, back blings, gliders, pickaxes, and emotes ahead of their release. The epic skins are called Straw Ops female and Heyman male. Players will also be able to spook up their in-game appearance with the Bird Hovel and Hay Nest back blings, the Dark Glyph and Field Raft gliders, the Harvester and Thunder Crash pickaxes, and the T-Pose emote. The T-pose is said to be an infinite emote like Jubilation and appears to be designed to help players with the new Halloween skins pull off the full Scarecrow look. Epic Games has yet to officially announce this or any other new Halloween content. The publisher did reveal the 6.01 patch today, which includes the Chiller Trap among other updates, but nothing related to Halloween. Meanwhile, Fortnite's Floating Island is on the move thanks to its glowing cube, and its new to Season 6 Shadowstones have been disabled due to a glitch, making them overpowered. Once again, this story from IGN.
One of my favorite things about this time of year is how certain video games get into the spirit of the season with Halloween updates and skins, and it's just fun.
It is.
So I'm glad that Fortnite is doing this.
Halloween is my favorite holiday.
Mine too.
Awesome.
I will say that this whole period from Halloween through to Christmas is my favorite part of the year. I think I still like Christmas the best.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah!
Halloween, right? Christmas is great.
Christmas is great,
good.
but I prefer Halloween.
Halloween is a close second to me.
Okay. I think that this is a great time of year. Likewise, and like you, I really enjoy when publishers and developers go out there and do cool, neat Halloween stuff.
Yeah, I always enjoy. Team Fortress 2 has been doing this for years now. They have a major Halloween event every year, and it's always really fun.
We're actually going to have a little more Halloween themed stuff a little farther along here. But yeah, this leak, interesting stuff. We're going to assume that there's something to this because these folks are folks that we've heard from before, it looks like. I am not deep into the realm of Fortnite. Are you?
No, not at all. I'm more of a. I've always been more of a PUBG person, as you know.
But I do think it's cool to see some Halloween type stuff coming. It looks like that the rumors are likely true. So
It's strange to me that this is just leak. It's October 3rd. If you're going to do Halloween content, I mean, you should really be out the gate with it at the beginning of October, right?
I don't know that. No, not necessarily. I used to run IGN's Halloween wiki some years, like where we would gather all these stories, and some of the news pops pretty late, actually. So
For me, though, Halloween is a month-long celebration. Like I change my Twitter name. I get straight into Halloween, the spirit. We start watching the scary movies. October 1st, I'm all in. So for me, if Fortnite or any game is not out of the gate already with its Halloween content, that's money left on the table.
31 days of Halloween, man. I'm all about it.
That's what I mean. All 31. There you go. That's when I was a zombie on The Walking Dead.
Oh, look at that!
That's terrifying.
Love that.
That's a professional makeup job right there, done by Walking Dead's own makeup experts. I've got the gross contact lenses and everything in there.
Freaking
2 hours
rad.
in the makeup chair.
So you're doing the thing where you watch a scary movie every night, right?
We try to watch a scary movie every night.
We're doing that too.
Yeah.
yeah.
I love
Although
it.
sometimes it's got to be a TV episode because October is also like my busiest month at work. So sometimes it's a short for me. I'll grab an old Disney short and watch it. But on nights I can watch a movie, I do a movie.
Yeah, sometimes you want to go like full on horror. Other times just something that's like a bit spooky but not necessarily scary.
Well, if I've got like
It's
5
fun.
minutes, I'll watch The Skeleton Dance one night. But then another night it'll be a movie.
We've been going on. I've been on a bit of an Always Sunny in Philadelphia rewatch binge recently.
Yeah.
And so for Halloween, of course, we watched the Maureen Ponderosa Wedding Massacre, which is a Halloween should be enshrined as a Halloween classic.
What movie did you watch last night?
We watched a movie called The Void
Any
on
good?
Netflix. No.
Okay.
I watched it because I was promised a lot of Carpenter-esque influence, and it is. It's like 1/3 Assault on Precinct 13, 1/3 Prince of Darkness, which is one of my favorite Carpenter movies, and 1/3 The Thing. So you tell me a movie is comprised of those elements, I'm in. But it was somehow kind of less than the sum of its parts. It didn't quite work for me.
I always post all the ones I'm watching day by day on Twitter. I've done that for years. So I started with The Faculty, then Scream, and now Godzilla vs. Monster Zero. So
classics.
Yeah, I love it.
What's your favorite scary movie?
The Shining's way up there. I mean, that's kind of a basic answer. But that comes to mind pretty quickly. I really do adore The Shining. I think it's a mass. Cabin in the Woods is way up there.
I like
horror
Cabin in the
comedy
Woods.
is so hard to do.
I like Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
I like it when she makes out with that wolf thing on the wall. It's such a weird moment.
It's and
that's before the movie even gets weird. That's when you still think you're just watching a regular horror movie.
Well, it's unsettling.
Yeah.
And good horror is unsettling.
It's things that freak you out. Like I said earlier, in Prince of Darkness, those people that are just standing outside the church, and they don't even do anything, they just stand there. But there's just something wrong about it, and it's just weird, and it freaks you out. I don't like jump scare movies. Movies that just go, like anyone can do that. I can come up behind you and go, blah, and you go, oh! There's no artistry in that. It's not. There are ways to make jump scares clever and interesting and different because they've become such a trope. But for the most part, things that just go, blah!
No, I
Doesn't
prefer
really do it for
unsettling.
me.
I mentioned The Shining. Another one of my very favorites, The Wicker Man. The original
original,
the original Wicker Man, because it's so freaking weird. You have no idea what's going on in that movie until the last couple of minutes.
So
and
fucked
it's
up.
so weird. And it's not weird for the sake of weird.
That's actually a good recommendation. That kind of British horror from the 60s and 70s, those like the Hammer films.
Yeah.
That's some of the most fucked up shit ever made.
I love it.
Yeah.
Which favorite scary movie?
I think the movie for me that personally is the scariest is still The Exorcist. I don't know, that's kind of an obvious choice, but man, that movie's fucked up. I'll tell you a story. What happened was The Exorcist was actually banned in the UK when I was a kid.
I didn't know that.
Because it's so, it was considered too much. And my parents got a copy of it when it was like kind of on the video nasties list, the list of like things that were banned by the British government. And they managed to get like a bootleg VHS of it, and they brought it home one time, and they said to me, "This movie is too scary for you." So I must have been about 10 at the time. You go upstairs to bed. Mother and me are going to watch this movie, and so I went upstairs to bed. But they then proceeded to watch the movie downstairs at very high volume, and the soundscape of that movie alone is
Yep. Lots of
Jesus
gurgling.
fuck you and all this kind of awful stuff.
Yeah.
It's just the worst. And then that alone, just hearing the soundtrack of the film.
That might have been more frightening.
It fucked me up for life. That and George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead, which I watched when I was way too young to watch it.
Okay.
Fucked me up for life.
Were you afraid of shopping malls forever to this day?
I still don't like shopping malls. And I still have nightmares about zombies to this day. The whole reason why, or at least part of the reason why I was a zombie in The Walking Dead, was I thought it would help finally exorcise that fear out of me. It didn't work. It just made it worse.
While you were talking about that, I realized my favorite horror movie is Jaws.
I guess it does qualify as horror, doesn't it?
Yeah, horror. Jaws is I think, if you break it down, it's an archetypical monster movie.
That movie
and
made generations of people legitimately terrified to go into the ocean.
I still won't swim in the ocean.
Yeah.
And it's because of Jaws. That is the reason.
Yeah. It's legit.
As an adult, I will not get in. That movie's great. And fun one to watch. All right. PS4 exclusive Castlevania. Oh, wow. I forgot how to talk today. I'm stumbling over my words a lot today.
What's up?
I don't know.
It's okay.
Not really
a couple of bugs in the system. They'll work out.
PS4 exclusive Castlevania Requiem game options detailed by Konami. Patrick Fuller telling us
Sticking with the Halloween theme here, Castlevania.
Right. Yep. Konami is about to re-release 2 of the Castlevania series' best games as a bundle. And now we're getting a look at some of the new visual options that will come with the games when they release later this month. Castlevania Requiem will feature both Castlevania Symphony of the Night and Castlevania Rondo of Blood, released in one package exclusively on PS4. In a pair of tweets, Konami showcased the new features. The first feature in the 2 images allows you to play in blackout. This means players will be able to play the game without wallpapers, which will be enabled otherwise. The last 2 images show off the game with pixel smoothing enabled for a more updated look. Of course, those who want to stay true to the game's original visual style can simply avoid turning that feature on.
When they say without wallpapers, are they talking about like the side banners that fill out the rest of a wide
we just want to see a black screen here and see it in its original aspect ratio.
Got it.
But I appreciate the fact, by the way, that they're not going to force pixel smoothing. That's nice. Both Symphony of the Night and Rondo of Blood are receiving overall updates in this re-release too. When the bundle was announced last month, Sony said Castlevania Requiem would see 4K 1080p upscaling, multiple high-resolution backgrounds, different rendering options such as smoothing, and full trophy support. It also said the games would utilize DualShock 4's analog stick for movement and the speaker to play sounds when you pick up an item. When GameSpot asked Konami about the bundle's PS4 exclusivity, the company responded there were absolutely no plans to bring the game to other platforms.
I wonder why they're doing that. Why not? Why? I mean, did Sony throw some money at them or something?
I don't know. I imagine there's a monetary incentive for it.
Is it because Symphony of the Night was originally a PlayStation game?
Well, as it says here in GameSpot's article, continuing, Symphony of the Night came out for the original PlayStation in 1999, and its effects on game design are still being felt with titles like Dead Cells and Hollow Knight drawing influence from it.
True.
Rondo of Blood came out far earlier for PC Engine CD in 1993, and it's also praised as one of the best in the series and one of the best PC Engine games. The bundle releases October 23rd, and those that pre-order get a special discount of 15% off at the PlayStation Store.
Driving right into October 23rd release day, otherwise known as the meat grinder. Damn, you got to be brave to bring a video game out on October 23rd.
I think they want it near Halloween. I understand that Red Dead's coming out around that time, but I think they're figuring, you're going to buy this and play. Because the nice thing about both these games is you can go in and out of them as much as you want.
Sure.
You don't have to play either of these for big chunks.
In between epic sessions in Red Dead, you could go. You could take a little vacation and go to Castlevania.
Yeah, these are both long games with a lot of replayability, but you don't have to play them all in one big sitting. So, Gary, what do you think of these two games?
Well, I'm not. You want to know a confession?
Yeah.
Never played a Castlevania game.
Holy crap, Gary.
Familiar with them? I know a lot about them. I've read about them. Angry Video Game Nerd has a very good series of videos. I think 4 videos that he does where he talks about the whole history of them.
Yeah.
Found those videos very educational and interesting.
Yeah, James does some good stuff with that.
What about, are you a Castlevania fan?
Yes.
Okay. Big time?
On the edge of mega fan. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I do. And these are, if you're going to play Castlevania games, these are the two to play. I mean, there are probably 10 really good Castlevania games.
Castlevania 4 is considered one of the best, right?
Castlevania 4 is very good. 1 and 3 are very good.
Yeah.
There's a bunch. But these two are the best examples of the two kinds of Castlevania games. There's one kind that's the linear multipath Castlevania game. You play through, you choose a path, you keep going, then you replay it, choose a different path, keep going. Rondo, in my opinion, is the best of those.
Okay.
Symphony of the Night, which helped with the whole Metroidvania term that you hear so often today, that's the Vania in
right.
Metroid.
Symphony that's much more of that's a large map that you can explore.
Exploratory Metroid style game. Yes, it is quite arguably still the best example of that kind of game in the history of the medium. It is a bona fide 10 to this day. Like,
is
if
it
that game were
considered
new,
the best
it would be a 10.
Castlevania game?
Yes. It's
Okay.
considered one of the best video games ever made.
Right.
It is arguably the best game on PlayStation, like in PS1.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
On the original PlayStation.
Yeah, it's incredible. And it holds up. It's just as good now as it was when you played it then. It's one of those games that transcends time and space.
And it sounds like, in terms of the work that they've done on remastering it and adding new features and so on and so forth, that they've done a good job with this. It sounds like they've checked all the right boxes.
I have not played this yet. Emulation quality varies. There have been re-releases of these games before.
But on paper, it sounds good.
But on paper, it looks amazing. Enough that I never pre-order anything, and I'm going to pre-order these.
Wow.
Yeah.
That does speak to what a Castlevania fan you are.
Two of my favorite video games of all time. Also, you were talking about PlayStation. I don't know. Symphony was ported to Sega eventually, a terrible port.
Yeah.
Rondo was only on PC Engine, but Castlevania games have appeared on platforms. They were on the Genesis and the NES,
haven't they
and the SNES, and they've been on everything. So I don't know why this one's just on PlayStation.
Well, this is an interesting combination as well, because if you're a PlayStation guy or a Castlevania guy, you've almost certainly played Symphony of the Night, because he said it's the best one, it's the most well-known one. But Rondo of Blood, given that it was only ever on PC Engine / TurboGrafx, simply by virtue of the fact that very few people ever had that system, this is probably essentially a new Castlevania game for a lot of people.
It was on Wii eventually. They released on Wii and they released it on PSP, but I think a lot of people missed it in both cases.
Right.
And I can't recommend it enough.
What is a rondo?
It is a kind of like a musical term. They like to use that a lot. Symphony, rondo, aria. They use those in all of those.
Yes.
A rondo, I believe, is a monastic chant piece of notation.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you learn something. You listen to this podcast long enough, sooner or later you will learn something new.
And again, that story, by the way, I don't know if I said it at the beginning, from GameSpot, which I may have actually neglected
to say. Good for GameSpot.
So yeah. NES Open Tournament Golf and 2 other NES games hit Nintendo Switch Online next week. This news by Matt Kim of USGamer. We knew they were coming, but now we have a date. Nintendo announced 3 more NES games will be coming to the Nintendo Switch via its new online service next week on October 10th. NES Open Tournament Golf, Solomon's Key, and Super Dodgeball will be the newest titles coming to Nintendo's paid online service. Since its launch in September, you now need Nintendo Switch Online to play games like Splatoon 2 and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
So
Gary, do you care about these 3?
Well, I don't necessarily care about these particular games, but I do care about Nintendo adding to the Nintendo Flicks or Netflix library on a regular basis. The last time I was on the show, we talked about Switch Online becoming a thing, and one of the comments I made was, well, this is great, I fully support it, I love the idea of Netflix. Let's see how they support it and how the library continues to grow over in the weeks and months ahead. And here we are. Again, these are not necessarily games that I personally am excited about, but I'm excited about the fact that right off the bat, within the first week or two, they're already growing the library. So I'm glad to see that.
Yeah, we're going to see 3 a month through the end of the year. And this one first on October 10th. In my opinion, all 3 of these games, excellent. Very good, very strong choices. All 3, NES Open Tournament Golf, Solomon's Key, and Super Dodgeball are all still fun. Super Dodgeball, played online, I simply can't wait. You ever play Super Dodgeball?
No.
So it's River City Ransom Dodgeball. It's
wow.
Yeah, it's those characters, and it's all about super throws and crazy histrionics and knocking the other team out. It's a lot of fun. We'll play it together.
All right, sure. Sounds good.
Real quick here from Nintendo Versus, another Halloween announcement. Splatfest is coming. Get ready to get spooky because Splatoween.
Splatoween! See, this is what we were just talking about. I love it.
Yeah, we should get a list of all these together.
We should.
It's coming to Splatoon 2. This special Splatfest asks you to pick a side, trick or treat.
Brilliant.
The Erie event runs from Friday 10/19 at 3 p.m. Pacific to Sunday 10/21, 3 p.m. Pacific. That's 48 hours total. Anything to say about that, Gary?
Again, I refer you to my earlier comment. I love it when games get into the Halloween spirit. I love the idea of Splatoween.
Yep.
I guess it's only a weekend-long event, a 48-hour event, but I'll take it.
And then this one didn't make the forum here because I noticed it very, very late, right before we started the show. But our final one in the Roper Report today, from Polygon's Charlie Hall, Hero builds a Nintendo Wii into an Altoid stand.
Oh, you mentioned this before the show.
Yeah, this is the kind of hard-hitting news that we know you come to Kind of Funny for. A hardware modder who goes by the handle Shank claims to have crammed a fully functional Nintendo Wii into an Altoids tin. Called Kill Me, M-I-I, photos show a portable device bound into a curiously strong tin can with a rough cutout for its 2-inch screen. Why create such an abomination? For the memes, Shank said.
For the memes?
For the memes.
He just wants memes?
This portable is not logical, comfortable, or practical, Shank wrote in a build blog on BitBuild, but it must be done. The effort began in April 2017, only coming to fruition in the last few days. In the center of it all, Shank insists, is actual Wii hardware. He promises a video proving its legitimacy soon. Shank said on Twitter the device runs hot, even with a tiny fan installed. It's also remarkably impractical, having just a 10-minute battery life, and the buttons, such as they are, come courtesy of the Nintendo 3DS.
I mean, you wouldn't want to play the Wii for longer than 10 minutes, so maybe it's fine. Well, I mean, it depends. Okay, there obviously are some games that does not apply to, but for the most part, the Wii is not a system that many of us are aching to revisit.
There
Let's
are
be
at
honest
least
here.
60 good games on the Wii.
But how many games are there on the Wii? 6 million squillion?
Like 7,000. Yeah, something like that. Approximately 7,000.
That's a lot.
Getting a call in the middle of the show here. I think I know who that is. Brian, I will call you. Sorry about that. We've been crunching the numbers on the legendary Nintendo Wii console. This is Polygon now, famously derided for its lack of horsepower. We've been able to determine an Altoids 10 has a volume of roughly 7.3 inches, which means you could fit 12 Kill Me's into an OG Wii. Digging deeper, we determined you could also fit more than 40 of them into 2 GameCubes duct taped together.
So he shrunk it down to 1/12 of the original size.
Yeah, it's kind of
which
amazing.
Which is no mean feat.
No mean feat, indeed. So that's the hard-hitting news we know that you come here for. Gary, I can't speak today. And there's no way I'm going to try to say this sentence. So I'm going to ask you to say it, if you don't mind. What's next on the show?
The official list of upcoming software across each and every platform as listed by the Kind of Funny Games Daily show hosts each and every weekday. And can I say how excited I am to go through the list this week?
Are you ready?
Yeah. I hope there's enough time left on the show.
Well, I mean, we have gone long.
Do the jingle.
Da 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 da. I didn't forget, Kevin.
Hey, did we do Baker's Dozen? I don't think we did.
No, we did.
We did.
We did?
We did. We did it. It was
I
just
think I was my head was still here with the.
You were hypnotized
with the
by the
C64
wonders
Mini.
of the 6502 processor, the 64K of RAM,
and I cannot say it enough. The SID chip.
the SID chip. Yep.
Did you add a story?
Did I add a story? Yeah, but I said 6 stories.
He caught an audible at the end there.
Got it.
Yeah. But I said 6 at the beginning. Yeah, we had one that didn't make the form. So that was while you were out of the room, Kevin.
Yeah, sorry, I wouldn't have left.
That's all right. I should have warned you. Anyway, out today, Gnome's Garden for Xbox One. According to our friends at Kotaku, that's it.
What is Gnome's Garden, Kevin? Can we pull it?
Yeah, give me 2 seconds.
Gnome's Garden.
Given that it's the only game on the list.
So, Gary, now that we have an opportunity to take our overlong show and shorten it, you have found a way to make this segment
long
longer.
again.
Instead
Well,
of
because
shorter.
I established a little bit of a habit of every now and again on the list pulling trailers for 1 or 2 games that seem intriguing. There's only 1 game on the list this week, so I feel like we're on a bound. Oh wait, hold on, maybe not. This doesn't look that interesting. What is it?
Is it Gnome Garden 3?
All I've got is Gnome's Garden.
And that's 3 months ago. Is this even real? What?
Do we have the wrong list here?
Are we sure it's not just like games for gold or something?
Oh, Lord, did I pull the wrong list?
I don't know.
That could have happened. Oh, okay.
But Gnome's Garden does not look like a game that is only now being released.
Look, we could have just moved past this.
You know what? This is all my fault. Let's just move on.
No, it's too late now. I might have gotten the list wrong. Then I'm going to get yelled at.
You could just watch the trailer for Sherlock Gnomes instead.
Gary, I need you to vamp while I look this up.
Gnome's Garden is now available for Xbox One, October 2nd, 2018. So that's correct.
Okay. All right. So I didn't make that up.
But we don't need to learn anything more about it.
All right. So there we are. That marvelous diversion aside. Boy, I can't wait for the YouTube comments today. New dates. A couple of these. The Quiet Man. Got a date for that now. That date courtesy, I looked that up on ye old big Twinfinite.
That's a horror game, isn't it?
We don't know much about it. I don't know much about it at all.
I feel like it's a horror game.
It's that Square Enix game, but it's coming out November 1st for PS4 and PC.
So it's coming out in less than a month and we know almost nothing about it?
Yeah,
they've shrouded it in mystery.
Shrouded in mystery, indeed. Okay. We don't know a lot about it at all, but I'm very interested. There's a new trailer out for it, though.
There you go, a lengthy trailer that shows off more of the live-action segments.
This is also from Big Twinfinite. This is from Darby Hallman. Carnival Games. You were talking about those awesome Wii games. Do you remember the seminal classic Carnival games? Well, you can play it now on Xbox One, PS4, and Switch. Well, not now, but on November 20th physically and November 6th digitally. So there you go. If you want to spend $40 for Carnival games, your opportunity is here.
Now would be the time.
Deals of the day. Our friend Wario64 points out, hey, there's a big Square Enix sale on Humble right now.
Oh, cool.
All kinds of Square Enix games at significant discounts. So,
nice.
Yeah, if you want to go to Humble right now, you can save a lot of money on your Square Enix games. Now time for Reader Mail, brought to you today by Third Love. Third Love has an offer for all the kind of honeys out there. The perfect bra. Using thousands of real women's measurements, Third Love designs its bras with breast shape and size in mind so that they fit impeccably and feel even better. Third Love just added 24 new sizes, making them the industry leader with a total of 70 sizes. Skip the trip. Find your fit in 60 seconds online. Order and try at home. Gia loves her strapless one. Her friend's boyfriend loves the black lacy one. And Jen didn't love hers because she bought one too big, but Third Love's free and easy return make it simple to get the right one.
Twist in the tail there. I like that.
There we go. So, Third Loves helps you identify breast size and shape and find styles to fit your body. This is hands down the most comfortable bra you'll ever own. It's tagless with no itching. Third Love knows there's a perfect bra for everyone. So right now they're offering listeners 15% off their first order. You can go to thirdlove.com/games to find the perfect fitting bra and get 15% off your purchase. That's thirdlove, thirdlove.com/games for 15% off today. This episode also sponsored, friend Gary Whitta, by Loot Crate. Who loves Loot Crate? I love Loot Crate. I just wore my new Loot Crate t-shirt yesterday. Arrived in the mail not long ago. Big old Venom on it.
Oh, I got the Venom one as well.
Yeah, the Venom one as well. Yeah, we are Venom, indeed. I'll tell you what, from what I hear, that t-shirt way better than that movie. A monthly subscription box delivered direct to your door with exclusive pop culture collectibles, apparel, and gear. Lots of DC Comics pops from Loot Crate. Don't get started on all the Rick and Morty stuff that Kev has from it. And this month's theme, welcome to the nightmare. Fight back against malevolent forces with gear from Soul Calibur 2, Silent Hill, Psychonauts, and Cuphead. It is as if they are reading my mind. Those are four things that I love very much.
And a little bit of a Halloween theme for October going on there as well.
No, I like that. You got to love that Halloween theme. And of course, there's Loot Gaming now as well. The October crate with Soul Calibur 2, Silent Hill, Psychonauts, Cuphead. Loot Crate packs $60 of value into each crate for less than $29 a month. You simply cannot lose. It offers 16 other awesome crates with pop culture classic loot crates and gaming favorites from Fallout and Halo. But this crate will sell out. You must order by this week to guarantee yours. Get the best surprises each month from the largest geek and gaming subscription company. Geek out in style with Loot Crate and subscribe right now to lootcrate.com/games and enter the code GAMES to save an additional 30% off your subscription. That's lootcrate.com/games and enter the code GAMES to get 30% off. That's a big discount off your subscription.
Almost a third, mathematically.
Indeed. Pretty good deal there. Now for Reader Mail. This from JR. Hey, Jared and Gary. It's been confirmed from today that Ubisoft put an Easter egg in Assassin's Creed Odyssey that references Breath of the Wild. I'm curious what some of your favorite Easter eggs in games are.
That's a good question.
Thanks for all you do.
What are some of your favorite Easter eggs in games?
Well, I mean, obviously, I sat down with Warren Robinette, the creator of Adventure, who created one of the earliest Easter eggs in gaming where he hid his name inside the Atari cartridge in a secret room. It's very difficult to find.
Right.
game authors at that time were not allowed to put their names on any of the games that they made because people were afraid they'd be poached. Robinette was proud of his work. He'd worked on that project despite the fact that his boss at Atari didn't want him to. He revolutionized video games, creating the template for contemporary RPGs and adventure games with adventure, and he was proud. So he hid his name inside in a very difficult to find Easter egg. And even though it's kind of classic, that's still one of my very, very favorites. I love that he blazed that trail.
Right.
What about you?
I don't know what qualifies as an Easter egg, but I feel like because I've been playing tons of Spider-Man, as you know, the most recent PS4 Spider-Man. There was a couple of really nice ones. There was a conversation about pizza places that Peter Parker has with someone on the phone that is a nice little Easter egg reference to a classic Seinfeld comedy bit.
Okay.
And I like the fact that a lot of the little references in Spider-Man referenced other pieces of Spider-Man lore. Like I think after one of the fights, Peter Parker says, "Oh, I'm fighting so many crimes, I wish I could clone myself." Well, Peter Parker was famously cloned in one of the Spider-Man.
Totally an Easter egg. That counts.
So if you know your Spider-Man lore, then you will find lots of Spider-Man Easter eggs in the game. I thought that was cute. I like that.
Another one that comes to mind for me is in the Stanley Parable. When you are, the Stanley Parable.
I love the Stanley Parable.
It's a brilliant video.
It's a piece of genius.
And there's so many different branching paths, but one of those many, many, many paths, the game gets very saucy with you and starts insulting you. And it's like, fine, you want a better game? You want a better game? And it drops you into Portal.
Right.
And then it drops you into Minecraft.
Right.
And when you don't know that they've signed deals to make sure that Portal and Minecraft can show up inside the Stanley Parable, that's pretty awesome.
That really was remarkable.
It's like, am I really standing? I actually fell off the couch laughing.
The Stanley Parable is one of the, if you've never played it, please go out and get it and play it. It's one of the most delightfully surprising and imaginative games I've ever played in my life.
Play it
Fantastic.
over and over again.
Cannot recommend it highly enough.
I'm with you there, my friend. Looking here, this one from Arthur. Hey, Jared, over the past few months, I've been really appreciating your enthusiasm and passion for older games. I'm a 19-year-old university student from New Zealand studying software engineering. I've recently been inspired by you to get out of the gaming comfort zone. I began with a hand-me-down Game Boy from my older brother before getting a PS1 for Christmas one year, and I've been a PlayStation kid ever since. My family wasn't well off growing up, and it was until 2009 I got my hands on a PS2 and truly fell in love with gaming. I guess my question is, where do you suggest I start my quest for broadening my gaming knowledge? You mentioned Good Old Games yesterday. That's GOG.com. And I thought that maybe it'd be a good place to start. I enjoy all different kinds of games. Some of my favorites being Dark Souls, Witcher 3, Shadow of the Colossus. I like anything RPG, so hopefully you can give me some great recommendations from my time to catch up. Love you, Jared, and everything you do. Oh, that's nice things, Arthur. Thank you very much. I brought this one up today, not just because Arthur was sweetly effusive, and I love to when people say nice things about me, but also because you're here, Gary, and you know a lot about the context of archaic, anachronistic, historical, and classic games.
I do, but I just kind of it's a really good question because I take that knowledge for granted because I grew up with it. I acquired all that knowledge over the course of years. If the question is how do I, as someone who doesn't know a lot about retro games and gaming history, go back and retroactively acquire that knowledge? That's a good question. Mm-hmm. Certainly listening to us on this show is a good place to start because we like to go down these old grognardy retro rabbit holes.
Yeah, and to plug some of my own stuff, I did a very limited series over on Hop Up and a Jump, my YouTube channel, called Pockets Full of Quarters, that talks about old games and why people love them. Yeah. And honestly, Hop Up and a Jump's not a bad place to look for old game stuff either on that series I've done there. But some places I'd recommend, Hardcore Gaming 101. Fantastic. HG 101. Great articles about games and the context around them.
That's a website?
Run by Kurt Collada. Those guys have been doing it for years, and they make fantastic essays on why games matter and how they were made and why they're still relevant today. You can go way back. The Retronauts podcast has been running since 2006. Go back to the old one-up days of those episodes when they first started, when they were still covering kind of the fundamentals of that. Yeah. And then just work your way forward through time. You can find a lot of stuff through there. Racket Boy. You go to Racket Boy's underappreciated gaming gems or must-play game lists for every console. They
Yeah.
have them. That's a great place. Where's some
Yeah.
other places you'd
I
look
reckon. I mean, so I referenced the Angry Video Game Nerd earlier, and I would. So the channel that belongs on YouTube is a channel called Cinemassacre.
Yep.
On YouTube, I would recommend the Cinemassacre. Subscribe to that channel. James Rolfe and Mike Matei do great work playing old video. The Angry Video Game Nerd specifically is bad old games.
Yeah.
But they also do a lot of. They have a show every Monday called James and Mike Mondays where they play old video games. They go back and they look at old classic gaming hardware and they do kind of historical perspectives. I would recommend the Cinemassacre YouTube channel would be my one main recommendation. They're also great if you're willing to spend the money. You can get there are some in the UK because we have a very, very active retro scene in the UK. I would recommend there are some great print retro game magazines that you can get and subscribe to and pick up issues, back issues from.
Yeah, I love to
have
read
great
Retro
information
Gamer.
about-
That's true. That's
yeah.
a really
Retro
good
Game
one
is a
right
good one.
I am trying to. I'm sitting here realizing that I have laid aside the name of it. World 1-1. It was a documentary made by a couple of very passionate people that wanted to cover the early days of Atari. I am plugging this, one, because it's a well put together documentary, and two, because I'm in it. But World 1-1 is a good place to go get some OG history on how the industry came to be.
Yeah.
And that's a neat place. And you'll recognize some of the faces there if you're kind of plugged into the IGN kind of funny-ish community.
Yeah, and if you're interested in the European, the British side of the classic gaming scene, I would recommend a similar documentary by the name of From Bedrooms to Billions, which I am in. Mm-hmm. So it's going to feel like if you had to get to plug an appearance in a retro video game documentary, I had to do the same thing myself. Yeah. There's a ton of information out there, but it's a good question because again, a lot of us older gamers just have that knowledge because we've like slowly acquired it over the course of years. But if you are interested in going back and acquiring it, that can be tricky. But my one recommendation would be the Cinemassacre channel on YouTube. I think they have some good stuff there.
Mike and James do good stuff.
Yeah,
I've been following that for years. So that's a lot. And then just, cryptic hint here, maybe keep an eye on Hot Blip and a Jump too soon. So maybe you'll learn more there. Hey there, Jared and Gary. I just wanted to know if Jared's excited for Taiko no Tatsujin.
What was
coming to the
that?
Switch.
Hold on, Kevin. What was that?
He knows what it was.
Okay.
He knows what it was. If Jared's excited for Taiko no Tatsujin coming to the Switch in less than a month, I had the privilege of playing the arcade cabinet version of the game while stationed in Japan, and me and a few other Marines had a blast with it. And then skipping down, keep rocking those Ryan shirts. There you go.
Why did Kevin groan?
And stay groovy. This one from Saucy Biscuit.
Did it out of order.
Kevin likes when I read the name of the person before I read the
Oh,
email.
that's what it was.
Even though
Okay.
signatures go at the end of mail.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, but he likes it when Greg says, Saucy Biscuit writes.
Exactly.
Ba, 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 ba,
Because
ba.
it makes his
Okay.
job easier.
Right.
Yeah.
Understood.
You
Kind
try
of.
retaining.
But I like making Kevin's job not as easy. Keep him on his toes.
Sum up the question.
All right.
Keep him on his toes.
Do you ever play Taiko Drum Master?
In the arcades?
Yeah.
Big
Yep.
drums? Yes, I believe so.
You like it?
I don't remember it very well, but I
Okay.
do remember banging away on the big drums. Yes.
There's one in Japantown here in
Yeah,
San
yeah.
Francisco.
That's where you're going to find it,
yeah.
like a Japanese arcade.
So short answer for me, yes. Very excited. Anybody that likes rhythm games, anybody that just lay aside all waggle prejudice, Taiko's fun. It's all about tactile feedback, keeping up the rhythm.
No, I'm presuming this is going to be the Joy-Cons?
Yeah, and so it's
motion
doom,
controls?
doom,
Boom,
doom,
boom,
and
boom,
then
boom.
side, down, down.
So instead of hitting a physical object, it's going to track your motion and do it for you.
Yes, but I had the DS version of this game years ago.
How does that
and
work?
It worked great. It was fantastic.
How, though?
It was about hitting different parts of the screen.
Okay.
And in a different way, and it worked perfectly. It was wonderful.
I could see this. I'm actually glad I've learned something from the podcast today. I'm excited this is coming out for the Switch. My kid might like this.
Yeah, and
my kids love to play the drums and hit
and it's
things.
2-player. Each of you have a stick in each hand. So if you have 4 Joy-Cons,
So you would need 4 Joy-Cons to
but
do
you
it.
play side by side together.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a lot of fun.
I'll have to keep an eye out for that.
And it's really simple. It's only 2 inputs, front and side. So
And how strange, he says, keep rocking those Hawaiian shirts. And yeah, I'm the one today. You're actually
No,
very...
that's what pointing that out. I almost went Hawaiian today. We could have had
should
that
have.
Hawaiian
It
punch.
would've-
Next time I'm on Wednesday, and I know you're going to be on, we're going to do this.
Okay, just coordinate with me ahead of time. Okay.
Absolutely. Sounds good.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Let's see. Let's
What else
take a
you
look
got?
here. Oh, there's a lot of them today, but I know we've talked for a while. So let's this one from Harry Nads. There's been no mention of Forza Horizon 2, which released free to Games Pass subscribers this week, and it's ranked a 92 on Metacritic. Help us, Gary. You're our only hope. Have you played Horizon? And what are your thoughts? This is somebody looking at the British guy
Yeah.
going, have you played the driving game?
I have.
There we go.
Well, is it because driving games are popular in Britain? Is that the
Yeah, in
reason why
Europe.
you're singling me
Yes,
out?
because when I worked at IGN, if there was a racing game to cover, it was immediate. Oh, somebody called the Brits. Like that
Right.
that was how it worked.
Well, as luck would have it, I have played it.
Excellent.
Greg gave me a code. Well, I'm presuming Microsoft gave Greg the code, and then Greg gave me a code. So I have played it. And the Britishness of it is actually doubly keenly felt on this one because the game is set in Britain. You knew that, right?
Yeah.
So you're driving around the English and British countryside, and I like it. I've only got I doubt I've got more than 3 hours in, maybe 3 or 4 hours. So far, I'm enjoying it. Looks absolutely gorgeous. Runs like a dream on a big 4K TV.
Okay.
Looks sensational. I got to admit, I got to be honest. I'm not actually the biggest fan of the Forza games, but for what it is, it's tremendous. If you like, it's probably. I'm quite certain it's a safe bet to say it's the best driving game on the Xbox.
I prefer Horizon to Forza, definitely. Like to Forza Horizon to Forza.
Forza Motorsport is too serious for me. I need something a bit more arcadey. And even Horizon, honestly, for someone whose personal preference leans more towards the Burnout, Blur, split second world of gaming, where
still feels a little too real.
I want to smash into things, and I want crazy arcade mental physics where cars are doing backflips and all kinds of stuff like that. That's my style. The very, very crazy arcadey, loosey-goosey controls.
Me too.
Forza, even Horizon feels a little bit. I find myself fishtailing all over the road like a little bit too easily because it's very, very, even in easy mode, I find it's very unforgiving with the controls. But I do enjoy it. It looks absolutely gorgeous. I will be playing more of it.
So you, like me, a PC guy. Back in the day, were you an Interstate 76 guy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that game, I miss that game.
That's a game that needs to come back.
Yes, I agree. I think Interstate 76 could be remade as Interstate 76.
They could just do it.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
That game had style.
That needs to come back. Interstate 76 was great. The sequel was not as great, but I do wish they would bring it back.
That'd be amazing.
It's right up there with Road Rash for me for games I wish they would bring back.
It's one of those games that I feel like Bethesda ought to buy and make as like a Fallout spin-off or something. I don't know. I feel like that could work.
Well, let's just wait for THQ Nordic to come in and do it. They'll do it.
It's time to squad up. This one from Blake on PS3. That's right. Well done, Blake, on PS3. His PSN name, his name is LambBread, LambBread. PSN name LambBread on the PS3. I'd like to find friends looking to gain online trophies with the recent news that PlayStation All-Star will be shutting down their servers. I'm trying to get my final trophies and need someone to play an online match with me. After that, I was hoping to move on to Red Dead Redemption for the Platinum before RDR 2 comes out and I disappear off the face of the earth forever. Well, so PlayStation All-Stars servers shutting down along with Sound Shapes and some other servers toward the end of this month. So he's looking for somebody to get that trophy. The passing of PlayStation All-Stars, which will be mourned by no one.
That was their attempt to do Super Smash Brothers, wasn't it?
That was
it was not successful.
Terrible attempt to do Super Smash Brothers. But once you get that trophy, I can respect that. Friends, help him out. LambBread.
Is Redemption 2 coming out for PS3?
No, he's saying that he put PS3 here because he's looking at All-Stars, which was a PS3 game. He wants to play it on PS3, get that trophy, but he'll be playing Red Dead 2 on PS4.
Okay. Oh, okay.
He wants to play
even
Red
though
Dead
he's rocking a
Online.
PS4, he's still back there with the PS3.
Yeah, he's got them both plugged in.
Got it.
Like I do. Like all right-minded individuals
So often
do.
easy because we're so obsessed with the current generation and the next one that we often forget about the last one that is still. There's a lot of people out there still with an Xbox 360 and a PlayStation 3 rocking away, enjoying their games.
How else am I supposed to play Scott Pilgrim but to keep my Xbox 360 plugged in?
Back compatibility.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Backward compatibility, pretty great stuff. All right, I'm popping down here for the You're Wrong tablet.
What do you got there?
All right, there we go.
There it is.
Got that You're Wrong tablet. Now,
Let's see what we got.
The code is still on the board.
I have a feeling that we were wrong about a few things this week.
We talked long enough that we probably should.
Yeah, the
be
longer
wrong
you
about a
talk,
few
the more the chance you're going to get something wrong.
I think that's a good rule for life in general. All right, what do we got here? So it's not refreshing. There we go. We got a refreshment. What do we got here? Oh, this isn't a correction, but from Zaire, for gaming knowledge, I'd recommend YouTube channels like Did You Know Gaming, Gaming Historian, Beta 64, and Stop Skeleton from Fighting.
All good recommendations.
All good recommendations. Jared said Forza Horizon 2 when it's Forza Horizon 4, says Zach. Okay, I didn't realize I did that. Let's see. To all Vita fans, Nicholas is seemingly releasing a physical copy of The Binding of Isaac Rebirth for PS Vita. Thank you very much for that, Zaire. Let's see. News broke right before the show. The announcement of Twin Peaks VR. Polygon's Allegra Frank wrote, from what we're told about the game thus far, the objective of the VR game is to break yourself out of the Red Room to stage your own return to reality. This from VectorBat.
I like the idea of a VR Twin Peaks Red Room.
Yeah, I like that.
That could be very
too.
creepy.
I think we'll cover that tomorrow on Games Daily. Look forward to that tomorrow so we can do our full research before starting it. You like Twin Peaks?
Yeah, who doesn't?
Bob, I'm sure they're out there.
That gum you like is going to come back in style.
Yeah, so what... Now you just made me happy. I love doing this. I love being on here with you.
Me too. The feeling is mutual, Jared.
Yeah, Zaire points out Castlevania Symphony of the Night was also an Xbox Live Arcade in 2007.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I know, Zaire. I had it on Xbox Live Arcade in 2007. It's been all over. It's on Vita. We were talking about this particular re-release when we mentioned that. Kebab says, Rondo meaning from a Google search, a musical form with a recurring leading theme often found in the final movement of a sonata or a concerto.
That was the definition of rondo?
Yep.
Okay.
There we go. So, okay. Yep. Right. I think we got everything there.
We did better than I thought.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could have just been ignoring other things we got wrong and not reading them.
That's what I would do.
How would anyone ever know?
When people tell me I've got something wrong, I just ignore them.
That's generally what I try to. You might make a good world leader.
Yeah.
It's quite possible.
Bit of politics. I like it.
Nonsense. I have no idea what you're talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, if for some reason you stuck around to the end of this thing, we thank you. We love you. We appreciate it. You allow us to live some pretty spectacular lives and do some pretty spectacular things. Thank you for supporting Kinda Funny. If you want to support us financially, monetarily, at all, etc., you can do so at patreon.com/kindafunnygames, and we hope you will. There are good rewards for that. Tomorrow, Steve from Nintendo Everything joins me on Kinda Funny Games Daily.
All right.
We're going to have some fun together. Hope you'll be there. Hope you join us. Gary Whitta, my favorite times here at Kinda Funny are the days that we get to sit down side by side and do this stuff.
Oh, thank you so much.
You going to go home and play some C64?
I'm going to go home and I'm going to plug this puppy in and I'm going to play 64 games. As
the American TV commercial reminded us, my friends are knocking down my door to play with my Commodore 64.